my name is Nick, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to edit on Premiere with slower computers. Basically, I use Premiere all the time. I use it when I'm at home, I use it when I'm at work. It's my hobby and my job, so I've had to run Premiere on my fair share of computers in the past, and these are just some tips that I've garnered whilst having to edit on some older computers that I think will really benefit you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number one is to create a workspace. That means you do not have to change workspaces. By default in Premiere, there are a few different workspaces: a workspace for effects, a workspace for color grading, a workspace for audio. And when you have a slower computer, it's really difficult sometimes to switch between, and it takes a while for it to load up, and it can sometimes crash. That's what I found when I was editing on a slower computer. So I made a custom workspace that just sort of has everything that I need in the workspace, so I don't need to change. I'll change when I'm assembling the clips, and I'll change when I'm doing color grading, but other than that, I have all my effects and everything in the same workspace, so it just makes it so much easier to get around and so much more time efficient, especially when you're on a slower computer. To create a new workspace, literally just edit your current one and then go to Window and then Workspaces and then click to create a new workspace. And then you should see that it will appear at the top with the rest of them, and yeah. Tip two is to change the playback resolution. Now this is a really easy one, and you probably already know this, but I thought I might as well include it just in case you don't, because it really is a game changer. That little box next to the player, just set it to like a half or a quarter, and it will downsize the quality of the video playback, which will make it playback faster, and is especially good if you're not running like a really beast mode computer. I know, especially when I have a lot of effects and stuff, that I need to do that in order to be able to view my video properly. And number three, render effects into out or render into out. Basically, these are two options in Premiere that let you either pre-render effects in a certain part of your timeline or just pre-render a certain part of your timeline. Now this does take a little bit of time, and you've got to wait for it to pre-render, but it just makes playback really smooth. If you're working on a long project and you finished a bit and going through that bit just makes your computer lag, then I definitely recommend just pre-rendering that bit. It'll definitely help you a load in editing. And number four, I have creating video proxies using Adobe Media Encoder. Now basically what a video proxy is a smaller version of the video file that you're working with. Video proxies are mainly for 4K video and people who need to edit in 4K, because 4K can be really hardware intensive, and basically what creating a proxy does is it just creates a lower resolution kind of version of the file with a lower bitrate and everything, and plays that during your playback instead, but when it renders it will use the 4K version. Now you can use this even without 4K footage. If you have a slow computer, then I suggest creating video proxies of all your clips before you start editing. I know this take a little bit of a while, but it'll make your editing process so much smoother and faster. At number five, I have put all your effects on an adjustment layer instead of on the actual clip. Now you've probably used adjustment layers before. If you haven't, you just go to the create new thing and then go to adjustment layer and create one, and basically you put effects on it, and the effects will be displayed onto anything that is below the adjustment layer on a lower track. And these are useful because what you can do is when you want to play your video, you can just turn off the adjustment layer and you can view it without the effects, without having to manually go and turn off effects. There is a way that you can turn off effects in the video player, but I find it's a lot easier to do it with adjustment layers. It just ends up getting complicated with the video player because you can end up turning off effects and then not realizing you've turned off effects and then be wondering why something isn't working. And I've had that so many times that I just suggest using adjustment layers. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any tips of your own and want to help people out, then leave it in the comments. And if you have anything you want to know video editing wise, just leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to respond. As you may have noticed, I've sort of restarted my channel. I deleted all my videos. Basically, I want to make better quality content, and I didn't upload and edit for like a year because I was just getting too perfectionistic with them. And I have a load of material that I wanted to start releasing, but I was getting really perfectionistic with it, so I wouldn't upload it. Some of it's on my Instagram at @ntkbzr. Yeah, I'll probably make a full video on why I deleted my videos. But if you're new here, I'm going to be creating tutorials like these, and also sort of lifestyle videos to help people who are creatives in general. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys in the next video.